I'll pull this up actually right now. So as you guys are seeing, I'm not going to play the video, but Osman Gold was basically talking about this whole clip thing that's going around with Hasan Piker, who is a socialistic, communistic streamer, champagne socialist, if you will. And he was basically saying that, it's more soul sucking than certain 9-to-5s as far as being a streamer. Now, I'm going to give my position on this, and then what I'll do is let Dan sort of give his position on it as well. My argument, and the argument that I have made on this, is that they feel that way because they have to portray a person that they are not for an extended amount of time, and that can be exhausting when you're doing that day after day after day after day. So really, the core problem here is, there is some naivety there. They don't seem to understand other jobs for sure. Has Hasan Piker worked a day in his life, like an actual, like maybe 9-to-5? I have no idea, right? I know he's a trust fund baby apparently, but I'm not really sure. However, and so I will say that yes, he can be ditzy on this topic. But the reason why he is saying what he's doing is soul sucking is because, number one, he doesn't enjoy doing that, and I think that's because you have to be someone it is that you're not. I think this is something that we see with a lot of different creatives. Why they have to take long extended breaks, not because they're doing work or because this holidays or something, they got to dedicate time to something else. No, it's because their mental capacity or mental health is in a terrible spot because they're having to stream hours at a time and be someone that they are not. And largely it's because they have cultivated an audience of people that need them to be a certain way, and that certain way ain't them, right? And that can be very, very, very exhausting. I think we see that a lot more often. I look at what I do right now as a blessing. I am in a position to create, do what it is that I enjoy doing. I don't have to hit like some sort of off switch to be a different person. I don't have to be someone else in order to be a creative in this space. But you heard what Hasan and even Osman Gold kind of co-signed him on this. What's your position on all this craziness, Dan?
Yeah, man. If he has said like, oh, streaming 9 hours can be sort of tiring sometimes. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I can see that.
No big deal. But I think that what he said, that's the half truth on what he said. But the thing that really came off wrong is the dismissiveness that came with it. The dismissiveness to the audience, because his audience works 9-to-5 jobs, and they are there in a time that they could be spending with their families, with their hobbies, and just winding off from that 9-to-5. They chose to spend that time with him. So he's talking shit about those people, like, what you do is not as hard as what I do. So that obviously is going to get people triggered. It's going to get people upset, of course. And it shows a lack of gratitude and taking it for granted, taking the blessed position that you're in for granted. If you just had said, "Oh man, I feel exhausted," it's kind of tiring, especially for someone who's introverted. I don't know if he is introverted, but the other guy, I forgot his name.
Osman Gold,
yeah. That was an argument that he used.
Right.
For introverted people, it can be harder to stream, which I agree with.
I can see that.
I prefer to stream in other people's channels, like be a guest on your stream with my friend Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, with Gary from Friday Night Sites. I prefer that because me hosting a stream by myself, I feel kind of overwhelming, and that's why I don't do it often. Yeah. Because it's like having to keep that facade, having to keep wearing that mask would certainly make me bitter.
Yeah,
and
absolutely
make me like be an asshole to be around. And the audience the audience is not stupid. The audience can smell bullshit miles away from, and they would dictate immediately if I was not being genuine, if I was not being myself. Sometimes I may stream still, but it's like, it's in a way that I'll be making sure that I will not be like a prick to be around, and it will be something that I enjoy doing.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to head over to rippaverse.com to check out our comic book company. We have books, plenty of merchandise, and even some glorious animations from Rippaverse Studios. Next up, possibly our most anticipated book thus far, Yaira.